Alrighty, so I wanted to test out Matrona on camera and kind of show what she's good for, which is obviously the bird boss, because of her passive, which makes it to where for every 1% of HP she has missing, you get all of your allies gain 2% regeneration rate, which ends up healing quite a bit. So obviously with a lot of that passive healing, it makes a lot of sense with her regular kit. She's just a very good fit for the bird boss team. So we're gonna kind of go through it really quickly and see how it goes here. I think we'll just go ahead and throw up the taunt first turn. One really nice thing about her taunt is that it is, even at level 1, it is a 3-turn taunt, which is actually really nice because you don't have to worry about putting up taunts super often. Actually, pretty good card draw right there at the very beginning. But yeah, not having to put up taunts very often is kind of nice. One of the only issues with that is you have to make sure that you keep up with your healing, or else, obviously all of the single target attacks are getting funneled right towards her, which means that you have more chance for her to die. I have Tarmia link on her, so she pretty much full healed from that, which is really nice. The AoE moves, we healed a little bit on the extra, allies that we have, which is really nice. I think we're gonna upgrade on Brunhild here, and I think we're just gonna push phase, and then let's move that so that way these don't merge. Obviously still the biggest issue with bird boss for me personally is just RNG. It's just ridiculous having to run this thing over and over again just so that way you can get the right card draw, because obviously for floor 1, the biggest hurdle is trying to make sure that you have 4 power strike cards, or preferably 4 gold power strike cards as you go into the last phase, which can be very hard to pull off sometimes and very annoying. So just having to do that in general is just a big problem for me, just because I hate how tedious it makes the gameplay for it. It just kind of makes it not as fun as a game mode as it could be. I was also thinking about it, and I think it would be really nice if I think you could eliminate the RNG aspect of it a little bit if it was still like a 3-man team with one in the sub slot. Obviously Matrona wouldn't work in the sub slot because you have to use her for taunt, and her passive has to make her be on the field for that. But I think that it would be very nice, and I think it would work a lot better, like I said, for the RNG factor of the whole thing, if you only had 3 characters on the field, because at that point you don't have to worry as much about having to pull cards for an extra character. The fact that 4 characters are on the field at one time here makes it to where I'm pulling, the odds of me pulling a specific character's cards is pretty low, and the fact that I need the power strike cards specifically from Brunhild means that I've got a 1 in 8 chance to draw that card, which is very low. Which can end up being a big problem, because obviously, as you can see, I'm still not pulling the card very much. I think we're just going to go ahead and throw that out, and then let's burn these 2 cards right here. Another thing that's really nice about Matrona, though, is that her ult actually deranks cards, which is really nice. So I think it's one of those moves that it deranks cards in hand by 1 stage, and then for each card deranked, it removes ultimate gauge, which is honestly pretty good, because if he has 3 silver cards in hand per chance, you'll be able to use the ult, derank all of those cards. They're not going to hit you nearly as hard. So for this one, for example, is a pretty decent hand to do it on. Obviously the red card you cannot derank, because just that's how the game works. So you can use this card, we can derank those 2 cards so they won't deal as much damage, which is honestly very nice. He has the damage cap on this phase. I think I'm just going to reset his ultimate gauge, and we're just going to burn these 2 cards. That way I don't do super crazy damage. Obviously her ult doesn't hit super hard. mainly because mine is 1/6. If you had her higher than that, you could probably do pretty good with her, but I don't think her ult is necessarily like big damage dealer. I'm just kind of trying to stall a little bit to try to pull more power strike cards, but like I said, RNG is kind of the big kicker here. So even her, you know, being really nice with the passive healing and everything, this is actually going to be a really good example. So her health is really low here at the end of this turn, especially with these AoEs. See how much we heal here. So pretty good. She healed up over half HP. The rest of the gang got a pretty decent amount of increase as well. I think we're gonna burn those cards right there, and I think I'm just gonna use this. I don't want to kill, and I'm afraid that that detonate card might end up doing more damage than I hope it will, or than I think it will. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she would have pushed phase there. So I either need, well, I mean, I really don't need anything besides the power strike cards, which is so annoying. I hate that is, you know, the big kicker here, is because if I'm not mistaken, phase 2 and phase 3 don't have that same mechanic. Like, you don't have to go for power strike, which is really nice, but I feel like, you know, having to deal with that at the very beginning of your run is just really annoying. So we're just gonna this might end up dealing too much damage. I'm gonna move that card just in case, because although this card doesn't hit very hard, I think we could have got away with it, honestly, but I didn't want to chance that. Okay, so we've got ult again, which I'm not thrilled about. I need to just go ahead and get rid of it this turn. Never mind, I stalled a little bit too long on this one. So I don't know. It is what it is. I have been able to beat this more consistently, but like I said, the big kicker is RNG. You have to have good RNG for this to work, and that's kind of where I'm at with the whole thing. I really do think that if you're trying to go really hard on this, and you know, you can, you know, do pretty good with the boss already, Matrona is going to do nothing but help you in that regard. But yeah, it's a really tough fight in general, and I just think that the RNG kind of ruins the fun of the whole thing. But then again, this whole game is pretty much built on RNG. It's literally like a gambling game, so everything is a gamble. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I unfortunately lost this one. I would have loved to have won on camera to show, you know, that she does work, but I'm gonna keep it real. I'm just gonna let you see what an average run looks like. Even with her, you know, she's not gonna heal. She's not gonna like heal enough to where it's like absolutely like game breaking. Like, you definitely are gonna win the game. But I lost here either way. So unfortunately, that is a failed run. But I have been able to beat it. Whenever we did our live summons, we did 2 runs after the summons, and we used her on the team, and then we did I think we were using Margaret on the team instead of Liz, but we did a run with Brunhild and we won stage 1, and then we did another run with Sariel because of a request from somebody, and we were able to beat floor 1 again, and we even tried to do floor 2, but because I haven't really done floor 2 a whole lot, we didn't get very far. We ended up getting to, I think it was stage 2 or 3, I can't remember exactly which one it was, but they were saying that I needed to be using taunts more for that specific phase or something like that. I can't remember exactly how it works, but I ended up getting wiped. But yeah, I think if I can get the hang of floor 2 a little bit more consistently, and I get a good run with you know, the team on floor 1, I think I could probably beat floor 2 at this point. So it's just going to be a matter of me actually sitting down and wanting to grind it. But this game mode is very tedious, and I just don't, it's not fun to grind, so I don't want to grind it, even though holy relics are really, really good, and it would be very, very beneficial for me to actually grind this out so that way I could get holy relics for characters. Right now, there's not really a whole lot of characters that I even want a holy relic for. I would probably make the Twigo holy relic if I could at this point, but I need more of the crystals, which are an insanely low drop chance for floor 1, and I think I still end up needing more of these blue boxes as well, but those aren't nearly as hard to get as the crystals are for some reason. So if I can start to beat floor 2, there's a chance that I can get 2 of those, but there's also a 40% chance that I at least get 1. So if I can, you know, put together a solid team and be more consistent with it, and actually, you know, just grind it instead of just being lazy, then I could probably get good results. But yeah, I think if you want Matrona and you're planning on doing more bird stuff, I think it's worth getting. I think that, you know, she's not on a very expensive banner. If you did end up pulling her from the free summons or whatever, that's great. I would really recommend that you power her up if you're, you know, planning on doing bird stuff. She's a great unit for that. I'm wanting to test out a couple more things throughout the week. I'm going to test her out in PvP. I know that's already been done by a couple of people, but I think that she could be fun because her passive does actually work in PvP. I don't think it's going to be groundbreaking by any means, but it'll be just like a fun little video that we can do. And then I also want to test her out in Howlix Demons because she is a red unit, and I think she could take a lot of heat from Howlix because a lot of his moves are single target, so she could eat those with the taunt, and then hopefully it can, you know, heal herself decently, I guess, with the passive. And I don't know, it could just be fun. I'm not expecting it to be like crazy groundbreaking, you know, gameplay by any means, but could be fun either way. So that's pretty much it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. A little sad I didn't beat it, but I'm just showing you guys realism here, I guess. But anyways, I'll see you in the next one.